find out the secret and see why people everywhere are talking about it. And author Lisa Nichols, a member of our secret panel, says that for years before discovering the secret, her life was spiraling out of control.
Her agenda is clear. And it's clear because she tells you what she's going to do. Completely disarming.
How do I want to feel? What energy do I want to give off? What energy do I want to draw back to me?
We now welcome Lisa Nichols, a motivational speaker, advocate of personal empowerment. She's a teacher of The Secret, the Law of Attraction.
I'm living in my passion.
You know, we look at better as if something's wrong with now.
Yeah.
You know,
I was just saying that to a friend last night. You need to relax and be with it.
now. Be with it now.
Yeah.
You can't just believe it. You can't just sit back and think it's going to happen. You have to get up and do.
Lisa Nichols grew up on the tough streets of South Central Los Angeles. At age 19, after hitting rock bottom, Lisa prayed for a better life. Today, Lisa's made her fortune, motivating more than 60,000 teens to make better choices with their lives.
I am so grateful that she was able to take time out of her schedule, you know, saving teen lives, to come and save a few adult lives.
I hear that you've been working on some decisions and making choices.
we've all said, God, I just wish I had the patience she had. Right? Come on, tell the truth. Nobody's raising their hand.
I'm the example. I'm the first example how the world's supposed to love me. And I have to give them the best example ever.
Wow. I've never heard that articulated that way. I've never heard it articulated that way. Beautiful, Lisa.
You know how you've looked at someone and said, I just wish I had the whatever, you fill in the blank, that she had or he had. Then it'd all be good. Well, what if God gave you everything you need? Everything that you need.
Hi everyone, this is Vishen Lakhiani of Mindvalley, and welcome to our special event on creative visualization. It's one of my favorite personal growth practices and something I really want to get to millions of people in the planet. Now today we have about 50,000 Mindvalley fans registered for this special call with me and Lisa Nichols. So if you've showed up, congratulations. You've done a wonderful thing by showing up today, because what I'm going to share with you, along with Lisa, is probably going to be one of the greatest lessons you will ever learn in your life. See, my friend Matt Dillon, who's an author, shared a quote on Facebook recently that went viral. And Matt really said, if you could teach people one thing, if you could really say, identify the number one thing anyone, any child, any adult needs to learn, it's this. It's the ability to take the dreams in our head and make those dreams reality. And when you teach people to dream big, and then to go out there and make those dreams real, that really is the core thing that drives us, that allows us to be fully functioning human beings. And this is where creative visualization is such a powerful art form. It's something that you've probably never learned at school, that most people do not practice properly, but when you learn to do it, it is one of the most powerful things you can bring into your life. So I hope you're ready for a major shift today, because you're going to be discovering how to do creative visualization. You're going to go through not just the exact techniques that we've identified that bring out the best results, and we'll be sharing with you some of those techniques here, but you're going to experience the most powerful single creative visualization experience I've ever had in my life. Now, it happened when I was at Awesomeness Fest Bali, Mindvalley's big personal growth festival for entrepreneurs, and on stage was Lisa Nichols, and she led that group of several hundred people in Bali through a mind-blowing experience. People had tears in their eyes. People were beaming. It was so realistic. It was so vivid. I mean, it was as if you were right there when you listened to Lisa's voice. And that's when I went to Lisa when she got up the stage, and I said, "Oh my God, Lisa, do you realize what a gift you have? Not only are you an inspiration, but the way you guide people through these experiences is unreal. It's surreal. There's something about the way you take us through waves of emotion, something about the way you help us visualize that gets us to a whole new level." And that's why you're on this call today. Lisa and I decided to bring this out to more people and give people this experience. And we're going to bring on Lisa in a moment. And I just want to say, stay till the end. You might be tempted to surf Facebook or check your email or turn on the TV. Stay till the end, because at the end of this class, you are going to experience that same remarkable creative visualization moment that hundreds of us went through at Awesomeness Fest. And we want you to find a quiet, cozy corner. Please do not be listening to this if you are driving or operating a chainsaw or any heavy kind of machinery. You need to be in a safe place, sitting on a comfortable sofa. Your eyes are going to be closed. You're going to be listening to Lisa's voice, and you're going to have that same mind-blowing experience that she delivered to our group. Okay? But now, let's get ready to welcome on board Lisa Nichols. So please give a big round of applause to Lisa. Lisa, how are you today?
I am doing wonderful. I'm so excited to be with you. I'm so excited to be here. It's my sincere intention to serve each and every person who's joined us today the way, we had a great time in Bali and beyond. I'm honored to be able to walk this path. Creative visualizations have transformed my life. And to be with you, Vishen, and to really jump in and talk about how we can help so many other people use the same tool that you and I both use. That's exciting. That's exciting. So many times people look at my life and they may have heard about me from Oprah or The Secret, and they don't know the whole story. And in order to understand the power of creative visualization, you really have to know the story.
That's very true, Lisa. And one of the things I love about you is your story. I mean, I can imagine few people I've known in my life that have gone through rock bottom and then risen to such heights. I would love for you to share your story with our listeners today.
Absolutely. I'd be honored to. I think about every single one of us has a story. The stories are not the same, but our stories are what help. I call it the seasoning. It's the cayenne pepper, it's the garlic, it's all the different flavors of us. My story, it didn't start wonderful. And my family's a wonderful, loving family, but we had very little when I was coming up. I lived between two gangs, and I had 3 fights a week to get home from school. Struggle was my life experience. Nothing felt like it came easy, and everything felt like it was even difficult. I consider myself a thorough learner, Vishen, and I say that because all through school, I never got the academics easy. I never got it simple. I was a C average student, which is just a midway. Every class I struggled to get. I realized I'm a kinesthetic learner, so I needed to hear it repeated to me over and over and over again. I need to touch it. I needed to visualize it, but in school they don't give you the opportunity to do that. So I struggled for 12 years in school, and then in my short term in college. As a matter of fact, my English teacher gave me a fail in my freshman year of college and said that I was the weakest writer she ever met in her entire life. And my speech teacher gave me a D minus, which is right next to a fail, and said, quote unquote, Miss Nichols, I recommend you never speak in public. Get a desk job. And I did. So I found myself in my 20s trying to figure out who was I, Vishen? What gift did I have? What was my purpose? And I went from job to job. I don't say it to a lot of people, but I'm happy to share it here. This is community. I got fired from 5 different jobs in my 20s. I jokingly say that I found out what I was good at because I checked off what I was really bad at in my 20s. Um, and I found myself at 24, 25 going, I could see a light. I could see a flicker. I feel like I have a message in me, but I don't know how to make that light shine all the time. Every now and then I get a glimpse of it. Every now and then I pass by a mirror and I see that light in my essence, but I couldn't quite keep it on all the time, Vishen. And then I got pregnant unexpectedly. I love my son, Jelani. He's a blessing in my life, but he was the blessing that I didn't plan. And I found myself at 26, a single mom, and I had to get on government's assistance to have my son. And that means I didn't have the money to feed my own child. I didn't have enough money to make it through the month. Every month, I was about $300 short. And I struggled and I struggled. And for a while, I said, is this going to be my life? I'm in my late 20s. I have a long time to go to be this miserable. And then something happened. I don't know if it was a blessing wrapped in sandpaper because it really hurt, but it was a changing point in my life. I'd run out of Pampers for my son Jaylani, and I went to the ATM to get $20 out to buy Pampers. And in order to get $20 out, you have to have $20 in. And I'll never forget the bank balance because it was my rock bottom. I had $11.42 in the bank. And I tell people all the time, I had $11.42 worth of inspiration because at that moment, I was at rock bottom. I had to wrap my son Jelani in a towel for 2 days. In a towel, and I laid him on his back. He was 8 months old. His father had just gone to prison. So now I'm a single mother of an African American male child in South Central LA whose father's in prison, and I have no money. It was doomsday for me. But I remember sitting on the couch and I looked down at Jelani laying there on his back, wrapped in a towel, and I put my hand on my baby's belly and I said, "Don't worry, sweetheart. Mommy will never be this broke again. Mommy will never be this broken again. I'm broke and I'm broken, but I'm also done with being broken. And then I began to look for new techniques. I began to look for new things. What can I do? Nothing around me in my community even spoke to creative visualization. We didn't know about that. In my community, it was get on your knees, pray, ask God, get up, and assume it's going to be so. And to take no credit from that. But we need to help the universe by at least painting a clear picture. I learned about creative visualization. I discovered something new in a wonderful community of people doing self-development, like the Mind Valley community. It was just like that. And I began to realize that no matter what my reality was, Vision, that creative visualization was like a white canvas. And this white canvas was mine to paint whatever future on it I wanted. It didn't care that I got a fail in English. This creative visualization process didn't care that I got a D- in speech, didn't care that I struggled in math. It didn't care that I was a thorough learner versus, matter of fact, because I was a thorough learner, I'd be more detailed in this visualization process, which added to my benefit. Creative visualization really leveled the playing field. It said, if you can believe it, if you can see it, Lisa, if you can paint it in your mind, then we can create it in your life. And man, that's all I needed. I went to my grandmother and I remember telling my grandmother, Grandma, I want to begin to think about my life. She goes, "Oh, baby." She started every sentence with baby because it was so many of us. She didn't know our names, I'm sure of that. But she said, "Baby," she said, "your life begins in your mind first. And then you speak it from your tongue, sweetheart. And then you get an action and you go meet what you've declared." Oh, my grandma just validated what I was thinking, what I had learned. Because for me, when grandma said it, it was law. And she said, "Baby, go create your life. But first create it in your mind, then speak to it with your tongue, then go get it with your breath, every breath in your body." And I began to do creative visualization. And I began to see, first, I had to see myself it was baby steps vision, having enough money to get through my month. See, I would make $1,400 between my government assistance and my part-time job, but my bills were 17. No, I would make $1,200 a month, but my bills were like $1,400 a month. And so I would always run out of money before I ran out of month. So my first visualization was I had enough money to get me through the month. As a matter of fact, I visualized that I had $300 extra. That was big for me. And I kid you not, within that very month, I was asked by a woman to do a West African dance performance. And I just did West African dance for fun. But she asked, could I bring a group of girls that I'd been teaching and do this performance at her event? And she would pay me an honorarium. I didn't know what that was, but I found out later that it's when they decide what they want to pay you and it's just a gift. It's like a donation and thank you for your services. And so we dance. I'm dancing, doing what I love. And she gives me a check at the end. And I'm thinking, okay, great. $50. I can take all the girls out for lunch. I opened the check and it was $300. I had $1,700. All of a sudden that month, I was able to have all my bills paid and enough left over. That's when I got really intentional about creative visualization. I began to think about the life I wanted. I began to think about, I want to inspire people. I know my teacher told me that I should never speak in public, but I want to inspire people with my voice. I believe that I was supposed to inspire people with my voice. I keep thinking about it. I began to visualize myself on stage. My first audience was about 50 people. That was huge for me. Then I visualized myself in front of 100 people and then 500 people. And then I visualized myself writing things down. And I was never a strong writer. You have to know that my thoughts and my stories and my emotions are powerful, but I don't know where to put the comma all the time, and I'm a run-on sentence mama. So I felt like semicolons and colons, I don't even know why they were invented. So I was always concerned that because my grammar wasn't strong, my content was strong, but my grammar was why my teacher gave me a fail. But I could see myself writing stories. I saw myself at book signings. I saw myself autographing books. It was the craziest thing. I would get so excited, Vishen, that I would begin to cry. I would stand in my bathroom and I would deliver a speech in front of hundreds, thousands of people in my mirror, my bathroom mirror, and I would laugh. I mean, real belly laughing, belly aching laughing. I would laugh, I would cry real tears because I felt it. I let the creative visualization come through my pores, come through my DNA, make the tips of my fingers tingle. I mean, I was there. I was speaking my future into existence. I saw money come to me. I saw abundance. I saw a day where my son, oh, I get emotional thinking about it. I saw a day when my son and I no longer had to eat beanies and weenies. We ate beanies and weenies for like 4 years. I saw a day when I could feed my son a balanced meal. I saw a day when I could even take him out to a restaurant. He hadn't seen a restaurant in 4 or 5 years. I began to see the time when I would travel. I had only been out of California one time at this time. I'd only gone to Oregon for college, which I failed out of. I failed out of college my second year. I got kicked out. I'd only been to one place. I began to see myself traveling all over California, traveling all over the United States. I saw myself in New York. I saw myself in Atlanta and Chicago and Denver and places I never imagined I'd be. I began to see myself driving a car that I didn't have to pray over before I opened the door. I didn't have to worry if the brakes wasn't going to work. I didn't have to worry if it was going to overheat. I saw myself in a decent car. I saw myself being able to help my mom and my dad and my grandmother financially. I saw myself as a success. And then I began to write down those visualizations that I had, and I began to pull affirmations out of them. And I began to get in action to meet my creative visualization, to meet my future. I knew that my future was now out there waiting on me to meet it. And I got in action and did the things that was required. And all of a sudden I look up. It wasn't overnight. But man, I'm so grateful for the nights that I had to work on it because Vision, I look up and my life today is barely recognizable. That little girl from South Central Los Angeles who lived between two gangs, who failed out of college and who got a D in English and who got a fail, who got a fail in English and a D minus in speech and was told she should never speak in public and that she was the weakest writer. When she started doing creative visualizations, I look up at my life. I have 6 bestsellers in 30 different languages. I travel internationally. I travel to Taipei and to South Africa and to Kenya and Kazakhstan and all over the world sharing my message. I visualize I travel over the United States, but we've been to Bali together and Dominican Republic together and to Mexico and to the British Virgin Islands. I look up and millions of people have been inspired by my work. I look at my son, and when he graduated from high school, he wants to be a chef. And he asked me, Mommy, can I cook? I said, yes, baby. He said, can I cook in real kitchens before I go to college? I said, yes, baby. He said, can I travel the world and cook? I sent that same little boy who was on government's assistance with me, who didn't have Pampers. I sent him to Tuscany, to Rome, to Sicily, to Florence, to the British Virgin Islands to cook for 73 days before he even started college. I sent him to do his dream, to have a launch into the world like I never had. I I I I drive my beautiful Audi A8. It's a space shuttle car, and I built my home from the ground up. And I don't say this to brag. I don't. I say this to share with you the power of visualizing your future and knowing like you know, like you know, like you know, with every fiber in your body that that future belongs to you. I live my dreams. The hardest thing for me to do, Vishen, is to sleep because I can't wait to get to my tomorrow. I'm so excited about my tomorrow. I'm excited about who I get to be. I found my purpose. I live in my dream. I'm excited about being alive and breathing life into other people. And it all started with creative visualizations. It all started with me knowing in my mind and then letting it fall off of my tongue and then adding to it the strong emotions of the realness, whether it was laughter, whether it was tears, whether it was any kind of emotion. I let it come through, I let it come forth. And with that, I begin to live inside of the abundance and the prosperity. And so I just want to say, I'm going to guide you through that same thing tonight. I'm going to guide you through my most favorite creative visualization because it was real for me and it'll be real for you. It's powerful, it's moving, it's soul stirring. Vishen told you don't drive, don't carry anything heavy or dangerous or machinery. You want to be present because when it comes through you, it's a surge of energy that's indescribable, but it's also that life force that you'll allow to come out and that will guide you to the next best season of your life. So stay tuned.
Thank you, Lisa. That was beautiful. For our listeners out there, if you felt that tingle of excitement or that glimpse of inspiration and hope that Lisa so puts into her listeners, you know what I'm talking about. And you can imagine what we experienced when we heard Lisa talk from stage. Lisa, as a father and as someone who has been broke myself, not to the extent and the stuff that you had to go through, but oh my God, that was an inspiring story. And to know who you are right now and how far you've come, it is mind-blowing. And, you know, all of you listening out there, Lisa was one of the reasons I, here at Mindvalley, decided that creative visualization is something that we are so adamant to teach to so many people. Because if you look at the state of the world today, there are millions of folks who are currently living through what Lisa experienced when she was in her 20s, living on government assistance, not being able to give their kids the life those children deserve. And we really believe that creative visualization helps give people not just hope, but helps bring them up and make them stand, because it affects the very core of their subconscious and how they see themselves, and it gets them moving towards a better future. What we're going to talk about now for the next 10 minutes is I'm actually going to share with you some of the studies that show how powerful creative visualization is, and then I'm going to give you a framework that you can start applying immediately. Now, we want these online trainings to deliver value immediately. There is a course that me and Lisa have designed. I believe it is the greatest creative visualization program that has ever been created. We are launching this at the end of the webinar, but for now, we're not going to talk about that program. All we're going to do is deliver value to you. And so even if you decide you don't want to sign up for that course and be one of our thousands of students, just listening to this webinar is going to change your life. And you know, folks, it was really through my conversation with Lisa that got me so excited about bringing creative visualization to everyone. Because whether you're really down in the dumps and, and you're living in government assistance right now like Lisa was in her 20s, or you're living a regular life. Nothing, I found, absolutely nothing, has the power to elevate you to the full extent of your human potential as this science of creative visualization.
Yeah, one of the things I notice is that you may be living a really great life right now, but you know it's supposed to be better. You know that there's that something in you that you got to get out. You don't want to rest until you let it out. And so life around can look pretty decent. You've impressed yourself and some other people for a while, but now you know it's time to play bigger. And you're not resting until you get to that next level of greatness in you. That's what this is for as well.
And now let's get down to the actual tools that you'll be using for creative visualization. So it's very important to me that at this online training, you go away with your life changed. So we're designing this entire experience so that you, just for listening, and if you never stay in touch with me or Lisa again, your life is still going to shift. For those of you who stay till the end, we'll also tell you about the program that me and Lisa have designed, which we are unveiling today. And we believe it's the strongest, most powerful, life-transforming creative visualization program that's ever been created. But we won't talk about that for now. What we're going to do is just deliver extremely powerful ideas and value so that just by staying with us and listening, you are going to experience some incredible transformations in your life, and you are going to go back with some tools you can start applying immediately. Right, Lisa?
Absolutely. When I say immediately, as soon as you complete this, you will start the process and you'll begin to see things change all around you, promise you.
Perfect. So let's get started. Now, the thing I want to stress is that the reason creative visualization is so powerful is because of the concept of the human subconscious mind. Now, the subconscious mind is what really governs how we live our life. According to some researchers and scientists, the subconscious is what really governs 95 to 99% of our lives. If you think about the part of your mind that keeps you breathing, the part of your mind that keeps your heart pumping, that is what is often referred to as the subconscious. Now, the thing is, the subconscious absorbs everything. It doesn't forget. This is why you can hypnotize someone, regress them to their childhood, to a particular date, and often they can remember what they ate on that day. Consciously, you can't remember it, but when you are hypnotized, by speaking to your subconscious, they are able to pull it out. The subconscious is like a sponge, absorbing, paying attention, listening, and developing your inner identity. So here's the thing. There are two versions of you. There's an inner identity that we all have. Some people, like psychologist Maxwell Maltz, might call it your self-identity or your inner blueprint. I use the word inner identity. Your inner identity, though, is formed by everything you've experienced in life, everything you've heard, all the conclusions and judgments you've come to make about the world. So if you were growing up and as a child you heard your parents talk about how difficult life was, this goes into your inner identity. Now, your inner identity affects your beliefs, your models of the world, and if you accept the idea that your beliefs shape your world, these models of the world that are coming from your subconscious now shape the experience that you're having in the world. If you see struggle, it's because somewhere in your life you have taken on a belief of struggle. If you're having difficulty making money, it's because somewhere in your life your subconscious has taken on beliefs that say money is hard. Now, what if we could rewrite the subconscious? What if we could create instant new subconscious programming that radically transform our human experience? This is what Lisa Nichols did. She didn't know she was doing it, but this is what Lisa was doing when she started dreaming about her future, when she started forgetting about that school teacher who said, Lisa, you should never think about getting on stage. Today she speaks to millions, but what she did was she rewrote those patterns. So here's the huge problem. Most people choose to live their lives unconsciously. Life happens to them. This is not what you want to do. You want to live your life consciously. Life should emanate from you. Now, we do this by rewriting a subconscious blueprint. And this is how we rewrite the subconscious blueprint. We do it by getting into a rested state of mind and projecting onto a mental screen images of how we want our life to unfold. And then we add emotions to these images. T. Harv Eker, the author of the best-selling book Millionaire Mind, said, "It all comes down to this. If your subconscious blueprint is not set for success, nothing you learn, nothing you know, nothing you do will make much of a difference. But by changing your subconscious programming, you take the first essential step to changing your results. In other words, if you're not working with your subconscious mind, it's working against you." So, how do we begin? Well, before I give you this simple procedure, I just want to talk about some recent science that is further validating the art of creative visualization. Now, people like Arnold Schwarzenegger, when he was interviewed, he talked about how he was able to get such a remarkable body and win the World Bodybuilding Championships because every time he was in the gym, in addition to just lifting weights, he would visualize his muscles growing. Now, science started that. There was a recent scientific study called the finger abduction experiment, where they would have people do a specific finger exercise. Now, half the group would physically do the exercise by moving their finger. The other half would visualize their finger moving. It was remarkable what they found. Those who visualized their finger moving saw a 54% muscle gain. 54%, as much muscle gain as those who were physically moving their finger. Now, what they found is that when you combine physical exercise with actually visualizing yourself performing well, you get even more dramatic performance boost. Now, that works for exercise. It works for Olympic athletes. There was one scientist who studied how Eastern European athletes were training for the 1980 Olympics, and the key he discovered was the focus on creative visualization. The fact is, it doesn't just apply to sports. It applies to real world. It applies to your performance at work. It applies to your relationships. It applies to how you function as a parent. It applies to your character traits, your emotional intelligence, the projects you're currently working on, how you make money, how you write. If you're an artist, it applies to the work you create. Creative visualization boosts your performance in the real world when done right. Science says some of the things that happen when you practice creative visualization is that it actually changes the neural networking in your brain. They call this neuroplasticity, the idea that the brain isn't a constant mass, but it can evolve and shift. Creative visualization seems to create changes in the brain. And in a CNN report, it said that when you're practicing creative visualization, it's actually impacting your genes at a molecular level. Your gene response is changing. So your body might create more antibodies against the flu. And scientists are able to measure this because they draw blood and they're able to measure your antibody count. They're able to see that through creative visualization, you're able to actually change your body and how it protects you from illness. Now, one of the most bizarre studies, and I'm almost hesitant to share this on this call because it is frankly kind of bizarre, Lisa, and it was a study done by William Broad at the San Antonio Mind Science Institute. Now, he took two groups of people and he divided them into groups. One group were called receivers, and the receivers were in a room and they were hooked up to some 19 different machines that measured neurological responses, skin resistance, heartbeat, brain waves. And the other group were called senders, and they were put in a separate room. Now, at specific moments in time, say 1:53 p.m., the senders were asked to visualize the receivers and send positive energy to the receivers. Now, what they found is that at precisely those times, the receivers, who had no idea the senders were thinking about them and visualizing them at those moments, and were in a different room, at precisely those times, 1:53 p.m., the machines would show changes in the receiver's body. We have no idea how this works, but you can imagine the impact of this discovery. Creative visualization doesn't just change you, it can change the world around you. And especially, it seems to have some sort of influence on other human beings. Now, the question is, how do we get started? So, before this webinar, we released a couple of videos giving you some ideas on how to put yourself in the right frame of mind for creative visualization. We talked about how to create balance in your life, how to set the right goals, how to ask yourself the right questions. Now let's get down to the actual practice itself. Now, it is a broad skill. I could be training someone on creative visualization over 2 days. In fact, I've done that in the past because it goes really deep. But what we're going to teach you right now are things that you can instantly take back and start practicing immediately. Okay, so the first step is creative visualization works best when you are in a relaxed state of mind. People who meditate call this the alpha or the theta level of mind. This is when your brain waves slow down. It happens early in the morning when you're just waking up or when you're in a rested state. So, first step is do creative visualization in the mornings when you're just waking up. Jose Silva, the great mind science pioneer and founder of the Silva Method, said that in the first 5 minutes or so when you're waking up, you're kind of already in the alpha level of mind. So go to the bathroom if you must, brush your teeth, but then get back on bed, sit up straight, and this is when you practice creative visualization. Okay, now the second step is to actually visualize. A lot of people do it wrong. They visualize on the back of their eyelids. This creates small, less compelling imagery. What you want to do is imagine you're in a cinema, but you're the only person there. And in front of you is a giant, huge silver screen, a giant movie screen. On this screen is where you want to project your images. It is on this screen that you want to project the glorious new life you want to lead. If you've watched the videos prior to this webinar and you've made the list of the experiences you want, the character traits you want to adopt, the changes in the world you want to create, it is on this screen that you're going to be replaying these images. And now we come to step 3. In step 3, and this is a step that I introduced to the creative visualization community, you do not start with an image of your future. You start with an acknowledgement of gratitude for where you are right now. This is crazy important. You see, if you start visualizing that beautiful new house that you someday want to own, that house with 7 bathrooms and 5 bedrooms and a garage for 3 cars, but right now you're living in a tiny 450 square foot apartment, that's a huge gap in your mind. And you're going to create doubt. So what you need to do is to start with gratitude. And here's how you do it. You express gratitude for what you have right now and how far you've already come. So you might express gratitude that, well, in the first place, you have an apartment to call your own when many people do not have a decent apartment. You might express gratitude that you have warm water, that you have electricity. You might express gratitude that 2 years ago, you were living with your parents or just graduating from college and now you have that apartment. Now it sounds simplistic, right? Because you're expressing gratitude for warm water, for electricity. But honestly, when you think about it, most people in the world do not have warm water. There are billions of people in other countries that don't have that luxury. You're already a step ahead. And by reminding yourself of that, you put yourself in a state of positive expectancy so that you start to expect that even greater things can come. Gratitude is a massive mind shift that puts you in the right frame of mind to then visualize your future beyond. I bet you, Lisa, that when you were there with your child, even though he was wrapped in a towel, you were feeling gratitude that you had such a beautiful child in your life, weren't you?
And I was grateful for the towel. Can I tell you, gratitude, I consider gratitude. I'm so glad you said that, Vishen. I love you so much. I'm so glad you said that. Gratitude is the rich soil that you plant your future in. The rich soil. You can't start a great future disliking where you are right now. But if you can love where you are right now, I love my body. That was a big thing for me, is my body. My body has been, and my shape and my health has been a big conversation. It wasn't until at one time I was nearly 100 pounds overweight. I didn't know I had a medical condition that I was unaware of. And when I found out about it, I was nearly 100 pounds overweight. And it wasn't until, because I never loved my body, I stopped loving my body. And it wasn't until I started loving my body, Vishen, where it was, loving the strong legs that held me up, loving the hips and the arms and the back that helped to carry my dream. It wasn't until I did that I began to melt away nearly 60 pounds. It wasn't until I could love what I had, planting soil. Gratitude is good soil. Gratitude is planting good soil so that amazing things can grow from it.
Well said, Lisa. And here's why gratitude is so important. It's been studied by science, and what science found is that just expressing gratitude somehow causes you to have more energy throughout the day, just expressing gratitude somehow causes you to have more energy throughout the day, creates higher emotional intelligence, creates a more forgiving attitude, reduces depression, reduces anxiousness, creates more feelings of being socially connected, creates better sleep, and creates fewer headaches. So you see, what we're teaching you has been studied by science. And this particular element, just having gratitude before you start visualizing your future, If you just stop there, you're already still going to have dramatic effects in your life. So you always want to start with gratitude. Now that brings us to the next stage, right? And that next stage is you now bring in all your senses. And I'm going to teach you a really simple technique that's going to change this for you. A lot of people have difficulty practicing creative visualization because they say, well, I'm having difficulty visualizing that dream house. I'm having difficulty visualizing that car. Well, honestly, blame television. A lot of you think that your visual images must look as real as a movie screen. But the fact of the matter is, all of us have different dominant senses. For most of us, that dominant sense is visual. It's our sight. But for others, it's auditory. Could be kinesthetic, the sense of touch. It could be your sense of smell. Different people have a different dominant sense. Now, if your dominant sense isn't the sense of sight, you might have an easier time hearing sounds or feeling things. That's actually good. I mean, do you think someone who was born blind and had never had the gift of sight could never get the results from creative visualization? Obviously not. So it is not so much the visuals that you see, it's the senses that you feel and how you feed these senses into your subconscious. So here's a tip. You want to bring in all your senses. If you're visualizing that new car, for example, you want to hear the song, your favorite song, playing on that high fidelity speaker system. You want to feel yourself on those comfortable, beautiful leather seats. You want to feel your grip on the steering wheel. You want to feel the motion of the car. You want to, of course, bring in the visual elements, see the steering wheel. What color is it? Is it leather? Does it have a strap on it? You want to feel the wind blowing through your hair. So bring in the sense of touch. Bring in the sense of hearing. Bring in your visual senses. Bring in everything you can to make that real. You want to bring in all your senses. Now, in the program that we've created with Lisa, Lisa does this really well. So when she's guiding you through these different visualizations, you can do nothing but feel a whole 5-sensory experience around what you're feeling. Now, it's these senses that talk to your subconscious mind and repattern and rewire the beliefs in your subconscious. Studies have shown that when you truly visualize something in the correct way and you bring in your senses, it activates the same areas in the brain as if you were doing that thing in real life. In other words, if you could really visualize yourself having a kiss with the man or woman of your dreams, it activates the same areas in your brain as if you were actually physically kissing that person. That brings us to point number 5. Bring in emotions. While we're talking about kissing, let's talk about bringing in all emotions into creative visualization. Emotions are a really, really, really important part. If you've watched that best-selling DVD, The Secret, which incidentally you were in, Lisa, and Lisa was the most requested speaker in The Secret. If you watch the movie The Secret, there's a very, very simple formula that our mutual friend Bob Proctor mentions. He said, thoughts plus emotion equal attraction. Emotion is the key. A lot of folks who practice creative visualization do not get the results they want because they leave out the emotional bit. This is in fact why I chose Lisa as the person whom I wanted to build the ultimate creative visualization product with. Because when you listen to Lisa tell a story, she has the ability to just stir up emotions in you. And those emotions fuel the experience. They speak further to the subconscious mind and they accelerate results like nothing else. Emotions are powerful. Emotions are key. You must bring in your emotions in this. So when you're visualizing that new house, when you're visualizing that car, when you're visualizing the love of your life, you must feel the excitement, feel the emotions as if it were happening then and there. And now we come to step 6. Step 6 is the hardest part. And it comes with practice. But once you get to step 6, you will never want anything else in your life again because all your deepest desires start coming to you. Step 6 says, let go, forget, release what it is that you just visualize and go through a feeling of positive expectancy. So, Jose Silva, right, who's one of the pioneers of this movement, said that when you visualize something, the best state of mind to be in when you emerge out of that meditation session is a state of expectancy. Now, this state simply means that you so expect what it is that you're visualizing to come to you that you feel no worry, no dread, no anxiety, no, why don't I have it yet? Because, of course, when you bring these in, you are short-circuiting the commands that you just put in your subconscious mind. So you must be in a state of expectancy. Let me give you an idea of what this state feels like. So let's say you have a close friend who borrows some money from you. Let's say his name is Tom. Tom borrows some money from you, about $1,000, and he says he's going to repay you at the end of the week. Now a week comes by, you don't hear from Tom. A month goes by, Tom is avoiding your phone calls. He's not responding to your emails. He owes you $1,000. He's not responding to you. You're frustrated. You're irritated. You feel that you've just been taken for a ride. You never want to talk to Tom again. 2 months later, though, Tom suddenly calls you up. Tom says, hey, listen, I have been an absolute, idiot about this whole situation. I'm so sorry. I was going through a tough time. Look, I'm sending you a check for $1,000 plus interest, and I'm shooting you a message right now with the FedEx delivery tracking number and a photocopy of the check so you know it's in the mail. Now, how do you feel? You have the tracking number. You've seen an image of the check. How do you feel? Now, the money isn't in the bank yet. Think about that. Your money isn't in the bank, but how do you feel? You know the check is in the mail. You know it's coming to you. So because you expect that money to come, you suddenly feel way better. You know that money's going to hit you. Your negative feelings towards Tom may now disappear. You know the check is in the mail. That is the feeling of expectancy that you want to cultivate. The feeling that the check is in the mail, that it is inevitably going to come to you. You just have to be patient and let time run its course.
Bishop, may I give another example for that?
Absolutely.
When you go to a restaurant and you walk in a restaurant and let's say you order salmon, broccoli, spinach, and a salad. You sit having great conversation with your friends, your community, and you literally are preparing for that salmon. You're preparing for that salad because you expect it. You're not wondering if chicken will come or if lasagna will come or if a pizza will come. You know that a salmon's going to come. Why? Because you place the order. Creative visualization is you placing an order to the universe. So it's exactly like you would sit and expect that salad and that spinach to come, expect for your reality, your dreams, your future to come the exact same way.
Beautifully said, Lisa. So in the words of the Abraham Hicks books, which I'm a big fan of, Abraham Hicks writes, "It is our desire that you become one who is happy with that which you are and that which you have, while at the same time being eager for more. This is the optimal creative vantage point, to stand on the brink of what is coming, feeling eager, optimistic, anticipation, with no feelings of impatience, doubt, or unworthiness hindering the receiving of it. This is the science of deliberate creation at its best." Beautiful quote, ain't it? And it describes what so many masters say about this art. Jose Silva on the art of expectancy. Esther and Jerry Hicks, Abraham Hicks on the science of deliberate creation. You must bring in the expectancy effect. Now finally, we wrap up. So now you're done with your creative visualization, and this is what you want to do. You want to end with the following phrase: let this or something better happen. Okay? This simply allows your subconscious to bring you exactly what you visualized or something better, if there is a better alternative. Now, Jose Silva and the early mind science psychologist Emile Coué also suggested this phrase. You then end with, every day, in every way, I am getting better, better, and better. This is simply a positive affirmation that creates balance in your life and is telling your subconscious that every single day, in every way, you are getting better, better, and better. And that is it. Now, we recommend that you do this on a daily basis. And now, one more tip. And this is a master tip, right? And Lisa and I often get asked, where does action come in? So, are you simply going to change the world by sitting down and visualizing the world? Here's what I want to share. And it's the idea from Toyota Manufacturing. The Japanese call it Kaizen. So, Kaizen simply means continuous, deliberate improvements. Now, I'm actually against goal setting. And I know it sounds strange, right? Because I'm a guy with really big goals. But the reason I'm against goal setting per se is because I believe in systems rather than going for a goal. Let me give you an example. One of my visions that I visualize every day is that even though I'm 50, I can still run a marathon. So I'm running a marathon when I'm 50. Now, the fact is, if I actually were to hit 50 and never run a marathon, would that disappoint me? No, because it's the symbol of what that represents. It's the symbol of ideal health, being healthy in my when I hit that magic number. But what I do every single day is I take some deliberate step to improve my health. So every single day, I might exercise, or I might choose to eat healthy, or I might choose to go to the gym. Every single day, I take a small step towards my health. Now, if you were visualizing a home, you have to detach yourself from the idea of that home. Expect it to happen, but detach yourself from it. But instead, every single day, do something to make that new home a reality. Maybe browse through the newspapers, looking at property that is for sale, even though you know you may not afford it yet. Maybe start reading a book on interior designing. I remember when I was in college and I wanted my first car. Now, I went to college in Michigan. I remember setting my goal for my first car. I was a broke college kid, as all of us have been. The first thing I did is I went to Myers, which is the Michigan version of Walmart, and I brought a snow scraper for my windshield. And my friend asked me, why are you buying a snow scraper for your windshield when you don't have a car? And I said, well, because I'm going to put this in my room, and every day I look at it, I'm going to know that car is coming. So you see, I went out there and I did something. Now, this is where the concept of Kaizen comes in. Now, this concept was made popular in the book, One Small Step Can Change Your Life. And really, it's a book by Robert Maurer, PhD. And he says, while small steps may be small, what we are reaching for is not to commit your life to honoring and maintaining your physical health, to the passion, the risk, the excellence of the demanding career, to the pursuit of a rewarding relationship with another human being, or the continual upward revision of your personal standards, is to strive for powerful goals, often elusive and at times frightening. But for now, all you need to do is take one small step. So that's the thing, right? You're going to be visualizing massive, big, crazy, powerful goals that sometimes will strike some bit of worry or fear in you. But as long as you remember, you're taking it one step at a time and the universe has your back, and all you got to do is focus on those small steps, you'll get there. Robert Maurer goes on to say, the small steps of Kaizen disarm the brain's fear response, stimulating rational thought and creative play. And what you'll find is that even if you do not know how to get to your goal, by taking those small steps, you're establishing intention. You're showing the universe that you intend to make this happen. And you will find that the answers to getting there start unfolding. In the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, he calls this taking a baby step. He says if you're setting a vision or a goal for a beautiful, big, new, world-changing company, but you have no idea of even a business idea to start, don't worry, just get out there, register a company, pick a random name, start reading books on entrepreneurship, take those small steps to show your intention. And what you'll start to find is that it will start triggering ideas, impulses, coincidences, random meetings with the right people in your life because you have displayed intention. And that's it. If you understand those steps, you are now ready to take your creative visualization on superpower mode and really start creating the life that you were meant to live. Lisa, anything to add?
Wow, there's so much you said. It's so full and it's so rich. Vishen, what I love about what you just did is you just blessed this community with clear steps on how do they transform their lives. Because I've done each one of these things, I realize, and you're so right, what you said earlier. I didn't know what I was doing. You asked me what I was doing. I needed to rescue myself and rescue my son. I needed to do an intervention for a life that was going in a really bad direction. But now I look back on it and realize, wow, every single thing he said, all 5 steps I did unconsciously. The gift that you've just given this community is that what you do with intention is even more powerful than that you do unintentional. Because when you're in intent, when you do something with intention, you have with it the expectation. I love what you said about not being attached. In my company, we say be committed, but not attached. Be committed, but not attached. And so when you look at the 5 steps, you will elevate your life. You will take a picture of your life. Take a picture of your life before you start this process. Take a picture of your bank account. I tell my students to do this all the time. Take a picture of your bank account. Take a picture of your car. Take a picture of your work environment, your desk, your office, wherever you. Take a picture of your home. Take a picture of your life right now. Begin to do these 5 steps that Vishen just guided you through. Experience the guided visualization that I'm going to do on the end. And then ideally, if you choose, only if you choose, we want to play with you, you want to play with us, and let's play together. Get the guided visualization series if it works for you, or get some other visualization series if it works for you better. And then begin to do it. Get into radical action. You know, my grandmother says, baby, when you jump into action, then all of a sudden you sent a message to the universe that you're coming, and the universe meets you with your intention. And so get into action and then watch. Take another picture a year from now. Take another picture. I would love for you to send it to us and show us, here I was a year ago, here I am today. And then do that every year and watch your life transform into something barely recognizable. Super, super excited. Vishen, I just got to tell you, I'm so excited to be a part of this conversation. I've never done this before. I've never partnered with anyone. My creative visualizations have been very, very personal for me. This is the first public conversation like this I've ever had. This is my bathroom, my bedroom. You talk about doing it in your bed. I do it in my bed. And that's my personal sanctuary space. And so, you know, when you invited me to do this creative visualization, you know me, I kind of stumbled. Let's just be honest. I stumbled. I hesitated for a moment. I knew I wanted to play with you, but I thought, wow, we're going to make this a public conversation. And I knew what can come out of the other side of it. So I just want to thank you for being so committed to service that when you were touched and inspired by the moment that we shared in Bali through the creative visualization process, you immediately wanted to give it to everyone, you know, that's on this call and anyone else who want to listen. So I'm super excited about what's going to occur. Keep notes, keep track so that you can see how much it works, how powerful it is. And let's go. Let's get ready, set, go.
Thank you, Lisa. Well, as you all know, Mindvalley's goal is to transform the global education system by bringing in practices like this into everyday life, into schools, into elementary schools, into universities. And creative visualization is one of these things that I'm determined to get out to 1 billion plus people before I die, because of the impact I've seen it have on you and me and so many other immensely successful people that I've had the benefit of knowing. And now, those of you listening, you're in for a treat, because you're now going to go through Lisa's beautiful creative visualization experience, the one that had me in tears when I listened to it at Awesomeness Fest. And you know, I don't often get in tears, but this one was amazing. So, I want you to find a comfortable position, relax, get ready, make sure your phone is on silent, make sure you're not going to be disturbed, because you're going to go on an adventure inside your own mind. And you're going to see a vision of your future that is going to fill you with such incredible joy, hope, and ideas that you are never going to forget this. Lisa, are you ready?
I am so ready.
So, I want you to close your eyes, get comfortable, get yourselves, you know, if you want to lean up against a wall or a chair, or just sit very comfortably so that you feel good where you are. I want to guide you through just relaxing your body, relaxing your mind. I want you to take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, feel your entire body relax. Feel your scalp begin to relax. Now feel the relaxation begin to move down past your eyelids to your cheek. Begin to feel your cheeks relaxing, your chin. Begin to feel your shoulders relax. Just relax your body. Begin to feel your arms relax and your abdominal area relax. Your legs relaxing, your knees, your calves. Now feel relaxation in your toes. Just take another deep breath in and just relax. I want you to visualize that it's 5 years from today. This same day, 5 years forward. And every single one of your dreams have come true. Matter of fact, you've exceeded all of your expectations. The things you thought that you wanted, you've gotten those, and then some. Your bank account balance, double it. The car you're driving, it's your weekend car. The home you live in, it's beautiful. It's amazing. Like your life is nothing like you imagine. It's barely recognizable. Take a deep breath, breathe that in. I want you to visualize driving up to your home in your weekend car. And you punch in the key code so that the gate can open to your home. I told you it's better than you imagine. The gate opens and you drive, I don't know, half a mile up to your front door. And when you get up to your front door, you get out the car. You open the double doors and you immediately smell the lavender, the lilac. You see the beautiful flowers that greet you. You are greeted by the travertine floor, that beautiful floor that you're stepping on. You look at the staircase, beautiful spiral, like you're living your dream right now. And you hear laughter, and you hear music in the background, faint, beautiful music. Your favorite songs are playing. Visualize, hear your favorite song playing. Smell the lilac or the lavender or the vanilla candles. Hear the laughter of your family and your friends. You walk into the dining room, visualize yourself walking into the dining room, and there's about 17 people in your home, all laughing and enjoying each other and having great conversation. And they all came to celebrate you. They all came to just say, congratulations. And great food is being cooked. You know, the favorites, your favorites. Just imagine all your favorites are right here. And the people in your family that cooks that dish the best, they cooked it. And now you guys all gather around the table, and the family member that you know that you've had challenges with in the past, you're sitting right next to them because you cleaned it up. Now you guys are better connected than ever. See them sitting next to you, giggling, talking, whispering to you. And around the table, everyone's talking and laughing, and someone in your family says, we came just to toast you. To toast you because 5 years ago on this day, you made a decision to transform your life. And we've watched you be radical. And now look at your life, and you've inspired all of us. See your family all toasting you with some ice water, some apple cider, champagne, whatever that thing is that you really feel toasted and celebrated with. That's what they're toasting you with. And they're laughing and talking, and they go into just having all these sidebar conversations, and you just feel the joy bubbling up in your body because they're happy in your home, and they're happy about what you've done. And the little kids are saying, I want to grow up and be just like you. And you realize that you've done something. You've achieved something. You've come from that difficult moment, and you've come right through it. Feel it. Feel it right now in your body. The joy of having accomplished something major 5 years from today. And then all of a sudden you remember, oh my God, I have to go to this event that was already booked. And so you thank everyone, tell them, stay, have a good time, don't leave, there's plenty of food, stay. And then you say, and if you want to spend the night, I have enough rooms for all of you. And everyone just smiled because they know that they're welcomed in your home. You did it. You run outside, you jump into your car, you start down the road, you turn the music up, you let the top down. It's your weekend car, so the top goes down on your weekend car. And you head off into the road. You get on the highway, and you begin to go toward this event. And you got about 25 minutes to get there, and it's pretty good because you only got about 15 miles to go, so you can get there. You're doing 60 miles per hour, so you're good. And all of a sudden, you run into a traffic jam. Feel your body tensing up? Feel your jaw kind of tightening? Traffic jam. I do not want to be in a traffic jam. All of a sudden, you feel the anxiety that comes with all these cars. And all of a sudden, you're going 12 miles per hour. You go, what happened? Well, what happened? I got to get there. I got to get there. I got a few minutes. And you feel the anxiety. Feel the anxiety coming up. I got to get there. And you know waiting for you is going to be like 10,000 people. You're not quite sure. You don't remember what the event was about. You've been running a lot. But I'm supposed to go there and give a little speech to 10,000 people. And all of a sudden, you're at a standstill stop on the highway. You can't move. And you realize that this is your traffic jam. All of these people are on their way to the same arena that you're going to. All of these people are on their way to your event to see you. You make your way through the crowd. You get there 15 minutes late, but no one cares. No one cares. They're excited that you got there. You walk in and the room roars. They roar for you. They clap for you. They stomp for you. They yell for you. You walk up to the stage. You walk up to the podium. You put your paper down. And you begin your speech with what everyone begins with. You say, thank you. And you go to launch into your speech. And all of a sudden, person 9,782 in the back yells out, no, thank you. And then person 5,676, they say, thank you. Person 67, thank you. Person 2 in the front row, thank you. Person 456, thank you. 572, thank you. 4,329, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And all of a sudden, the entire arena, 10,000 people are saying thank you to you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for never giving up. Thank you for having faith. Thank you for giving yourself 1,000 second chances. Thank you. Thank you for being resilient and determined. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And you stand there and you can't get a word in for 20 minutes. You can't talk. Because everyone wants to personally thank you for inspiring their lives, stretching them, pushing them, loving them through loving yourself, pushing yourself, inspiring yourself. You inspired them. You never knew that your resiliency was so contagious. You didn't know people were watching the way they were watching. And now 10,000 people have shown up to show you that they were watching you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You hear little old ladies saying thank you. You hear strong, sturdy men, thank you. You hear young girls, thank you. You hear it all. And you say, you realize, I didn't even come to speak. All of a sudden you get the memo. I came to hear. I came to listen. I came to realize the impact that my life has had on other people. I didn't even know, but now I know. And you decide in that moment, I'm not going to leave here without touching every person. I'm going to close every door to this sports arena except one. And I'm going to stand at that door and I'm going to hug every single one of you before you leave. Now, we're going to be here for a long time. It's going to be hours. But if you're willing to stand, I'm willing to stand. And unanimously, the entire room erupts in a roar. And they were clearly excited that you were willing to let them touch you and for you to touch them the way you've been doing for 5 years plus. And you stand at that door and each person walks out that door. And all of a sudden, this little old lady, 65 years old, she says, thank you. Thank you, baby. thank you for letting me know that you never get too old to try again. And then the next person is that 15-year-old girl, and she says, thank you. Thank you for letting me know that I can make some mistakes and still get back up and still have a great life. And then that 50-year-old man comes to you and he says, thank you. Thank you for letting me know that even strong, I need help. I need support. I need a community. And then that 17-year-old girl says, thank you for letting me know I could do it my way with my flavor. And that 40-year-old woman says, thank you for letting me know that it's time to put myself first. It's time to serve from my overflow and not from my cup. And then you see someone who looks just like you, your exact same age, your exact same gender, your exact same culture, and they look you right in the face and says, thank you for being my example, that people like us can have a life like this, regardless of what we've been through. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And you end the night, you get back in your convertible, you go back to your home, and before you get in bed this night, you fall to your knees and you thank the universe for every experience you've ever had, because you realize now you needed every valley to make your mountaintop taste better, feel better, know better. You needed every turbulence, trial, and tribulation to make your victory feel better. You needed every test to make your testimony sound better. You needed all of the fear so that you can turn it into all of your fuel. That night, you say thank you, the way those 10,000 people said thank you to you. Take a deep breath in. Feel your back against the chair. Feel your feet against the floor. Feel your breath in your body and begin to come back into the room. Begin to hear the sounds around you in this moment, in your now environment. And as you're comfortable, open your eyes and come back to this moment.
Wow, Lisa, that was amazing. That was, those of you who are listening can see why I've called that one of the best creative visualization experiences ever. Powerful and amazing. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. I think it's these are the type of moments where you tap into another level of conviction, another level of possibility, another level of determination. It's through a process like this that you get tapped into that part of you that sometimes you haven't even met yet, Vishen.
Right. And at this point, all of you, I hope you're ready to take creative visualization to the next level and to bring it into your life so that you can completely transform your reality, to go for those crazy wild dreams that many of you may have been postponing for so long, because there is a way to get there. And Lisa and I are really passionate about creative visualization. And that's why we've developed a new program. It's been in development for almost a year now. We've brought in some of the best course designers that the industry has, and we've created something absolutely superb. But first, let me tell you the big problem people have with creative visualization. So most people forget this fact, that as you live life, you can choose to live life the way life unfolds to you. In other words, you wake up in the morning, you think about what you need to do at work, you go through your commute, you head to work, you come back, you spend time with your family, rinse, repeat over and over and over and over and over again till you die. Most people live life like that. They never rise above mediocrity. They live the life that the schooling system prepared them to live. They're nothing more than cogs in a machinery. But then there are people like Lisa Nichols, who, as Lisa says, she cannot go to sleep because she's so excited about what she's going to experience the next day. You have a choice which life you want to lead. And I believe that all of us should lead the latter. I don't believe in mediocrity. I believe growing up to be mediocre, to not do what your soul craves to do, to not use that inner potential is is a sin. It's just not how life should be led. This is where creative visualization comes in. So the first thing we are hoping we've gotten you to do is to start dreaming bigger. Now, when it comes to creative visualization, there are a couple of things that hold us back from truly using this tool. The first is understanding that there are different categories of your life. Most of us get obsessed with a few popular categories: love and sex, money. That's it. Love and sex, money. But life is a lot richer than that. And so when we designed this program, we wanted to think about 12 categories that cover every aspect of life. 12 powerful categories. The first category is passion and purpose. It's about getting in tune with your purpose. It's about getting in tune with your ability to manifest the world. It's about inner peace. So, in this particular aspect of our creative visualization program, you go through 3 different creative visualization experiences designed by Lisa to help you discover your purpose, help you create inner peace, and help you unleash your ability to manifest. But then there's that second pillar of life, which is body and mind. And here you go through creative visualization experiences to teach you how to heal yourself. As I shared earlier, there's a lot of evidence on creative visualization impacting the body. You go through creative visualization designed to help you develop a stronger heart, to eliminate blocks that hold you back from living fully, and finally, to open up your energy flow. That's pillar 2, body. Then we bring you to pillar 3, which is social life, your love life, your relationships. Do you know a Harvard study found that when it comes to happiness, there's only one thing about life that truly correlates with happiness, and that's the depth of your social connections. So in this particular session, you learn creative visualization to create deep confidence so you can connect with people you want to connect to. You learn creative visualization to create fulfilling relationships. And you learn creative visualization to create healthy family dynamics. Confidence so you can get out there, connect with people, be more present in your friendships, fulfilling relationships, because all of us often are in love or wish to be in love, and family because it's such an important area of our lives. Finally, the 4th pillar is living abundantly. This is where you have to go through creative visualization experiences to create abundance in your life, to achieve success as a leader. Because no matter what you're in, you want to be a leader. Whether you are a school teacher in school who are grooming a whole new batch of young kids, or someone at work solving a problem, you want to be a leader, someone who can create a positive impact on others. The third area in this particular pillar, living abundantly, is creative visualization for accepting the good in your life. And this is really about just self-acceptance, feeling okay with who you are and what you deserve so you can ask for more. You wouldn't believe how many people have issues with this. So as you can see, it's a very holistic program. It's designed around creative visualization, but it goes so deep into 4 pillars and 12 specific categories that all of us, if we learn to shift, can literally bend reality to create so much more in our lives. And that's what this program is about. And of course, Lisa's guiding you through all of it. Now, all these tracks are just 20 minutes long, so they fit perfectly in your day. You can do it first thing in the morning or last thing before you go to bed. And there are 12 tracks, so pretty much if you take the first month, you can listen to each track twice. That's 24 tracks in 1 month. And in 1 month, oh my God, you will not believe the impact this will have in your life. Like I said, we want to hear stories. We want you to send us pictures. Our last batch of people who have gone through this are already sharing incredible results with us. We want to hear from you too. And as you can see, it's 20 minutes a day. The important thing is making this part of your day. Learning that when you can make this part of your day, it adds more time to your day. It's not 20 minutes subtracted from your day. When you learn to do this, you find that your career magically unfolds faster. Your love relationships unfold faster. So much stuff that you're wasting time on starts to disappear. People who have used these programs have even said that it almost seems as if when they are driving to work, traffic shifts so that they have a smoother commute. It feels as if their boss is somehow nicer to them. It feels as if their loving relationships just changed. It feels as if their kids who were giving them difficulty in the past somehow went through a behavioral change. It feels as if those raises and those salary checks are coming faster. It feels as if your business is growing and clients are just flocking to you. It feels as if these things are happening. We can, of course, claim that you're literally bending reality, but I was talking to Dr. Mark Waltham, the famous neuroscientist, and he said, you know, Of course, you can't say one is bending reality and shifting the fabric of the universe, but for some reason or the other, it seems to feel as if luck is a controllable fact that is on your side. So Dr. Mark Waltham told me to use the phrase, it feels as if the universe has your back. And I guess that's the best way I can describe this. Now, when you get this program, we're also going to include a bonus program on the science of creative visualization. So while Lisa has created the main program, which guides you through the 12 categories, as an engineer and computer scientist and a guy who has been in this field for decades, and I'm connected to all the main thinkers in this industry, I've interviewed all the main thinkers, gone through all the best books and courses, and I've digested all of these into a 1-hour program that teaches you how to practice creative visualization like a master. So you want to listen to this 1-hour program first, so you get you get all the steps down right. Then you go through the 12 categories that Lisa has designed for you, and this is when you really see your life shift. Now, the entire program is available for you on the Mindvalley Academy, and because we really want to make this easy for you to use, it's also downloadable. You can download the program onto your iPhone or your MP3 player or your Android phone and take it with you on the go, or you can just stream it online on the Mindvalley Academy.
What makes me excited about this for you is that I know if you're anything like me, whether it be now or when I was in my 20s starting this journey, you know that there's something in you. You are already contributing and serving the planet, and you want to do more of it. Creative visualization, I believe it's like your tool. It's that tool in your toolbox that you go to so that you know that as you live your life doing, saying, and living the things in the way that you say you want to live. That the tongue in your mouth and the tongue in your shoe are going in the exact same direction. That your life is a physical manifestation of the dreams and desires in your head. See, I look back and 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago, I was a young mom with a dream to touch the planet, to leave my fingerprint, to leave a legacy greater than myself. There was nothing in my physical. Vishen talks about bending time. There was nothing in my physical environment that agreed with such an expectation on my life. Nothing in my path, nothing in my track record said that I should be who I am today, other than my mind. I created it in my mind. There was no sprinkle fairy dust, no potion lotion, no magic wand. There was none of that. I was simply bold enough to create this breathtaking life in my head first through creative visualization, speak it across my lips, and then get into action on a daily basis to meet my new reality. And what I know about me is that I am no different than you. I am your sister in this journey. And if the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, would see fit to allow me to create a breathtaking future, then yours is waiting on you. But you can't sit on the sidelines and expect for UPS to deliver it to you at your front door. You have to get busy. You have to be willing. You got to be a little radical. It may seem a little bizarre at times, but you know what I love about bizarre and strange is this equivalent to freedom. Now I can be free because I don't have to be like everyone else. And so I invite you to take this journey with Vishen and I. Take this journey to the next best season of your life. And then turn around and make sure you grab a few people along the way. Vishen is just doing for you what someone did for him. And I'm just doing for you what someone did for me. And so I'm excited to walk this journey with you as your sister. I believe in you.
Thank you, Lisa. That was beautifully said. So here's what's going to happen next. You can get this entire program. You can get all 12 tracks for about $30 each. That's $360. But that's not the price that you have to pay on this webinar. We want to deliver something remarkable to you, and it's so important to us that this gets into the hands of as many people as possible that we are delivering it to you through this webinar at a special reduced price because we're introducing it to the world for the first time. And we're counting on you to get back to us with your beautiful stories, your feedback, your testimonials. Not only will you access this in the Mindvalley Academy, but we're even going to allow you to download it directly onto your computer or your MP3 device, so it's as easy as possible for you to experience it. So you do not have to pay $30 per track. So you can get the entire program for $195 at the end of this webinar. Just click on the link that has appeared below the video, and you can sign up today to become one of the students of our new Creative Visualization program, which is the most thorough, well put together creative visualization program ever created in the industry, period. We put in years of research into this, brought in Mindvalley's best assets, best program designers. It is beautiful, and we brought in Lisa Nichols, the person who, in my opinion, creates the single best guided visualizations on the planet. But it gets better. We know that not only will you be listening to these 12 recordings, not only will you be going through the 1 hour intense training on creative visualization mastery, but there will be a time when you will want to create your own visualizations. You will want to create your own images and visions in your head. And so what we've put together is an additional program called Sounds of Creative Visualization. These are specially designed sounds that I commission from audio engineers around the world who specifically design tracks to put people in different states of mind. We worked with a wonderful, wonderful engineer in California, another one in Amsterdam, and we have created a program called Sounds for Creative Visualization. You're going to get this absolutely free. So you will get a collection of sounds that you can play in the background, in your home, or on your MP3 device or phone to help induce the right frame of mind for creative visualization so that you can create your own visual imagery. All of this is going to be yours. Just click the button below and order now for $195. You're getting, in total right now, $550 worth of value for $195. And of course, like everything you get from Mindvalley, you know it's 100% guaranteed. Seriously, you do not have to make up your mind right now. You can try this out for a full 90 days. And if it isn't everything we promise, you can listen to all the exercises. You can even download the exercises, go through the entire program. And anytime in the next 90 days, which is a long period of time, anytime in the next 90 days, you can just shoot an email to a customer support head. Her name is Christy, and no questions asked, you get a full refund if this isn't everything we promise. Like any Mindvalley product, we will not take a penny from you if this isn't not just everything we promise, but way beyond that. So click the button below. Thank you for joining us. I hope you learned a ton from this program. Now take your life to the next step. Stop living the life simply in the physical world. Tap into that inner source of power that can dramatically transform every area of your life. And work with us and the #1 program in the world right now on creative visualization. Thank you, Lisa, for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to take this journey with each and every one of you.
And thank you, all of you, for paying attention. Please tell your friends about this webinar, and please feel free to share it.
I'm excited to see what comes up. Your future awaits you. Remember, take pictures and share them with us. I'm your sister in the journey, and I believe in you.
Thank you all. Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.